We lie to kids all the time, eh? And not even like maliciously, just because we want to give them information they can handle, or because we want to control them for their own good, or whatever the reason. We break down the truth into smaller pieces that are easier to digest, and sometimes those smaller pieces contravene reality. But when combined with the larger picture and given enough time, it works out to a net positive. Right? We don't go up to a 5-year-old and explain that all of humanity is this rich tapestry of individuals that are all interconnected, and that by cutting one thread, you can threaten every thread connected to it, including your own place in the tableau. Therefore, it is most prudent to put the well-being of others on the same plane as the well-being of ourselves. We don't do that to a 5-year-old because a 5-year-old doesn't naturally understand what a freaking tapestry is, nor can they appreciate the interrelated nature of each thread and place themselves within that paradigm. But they do understand greed, and they understand reward, so we tell them to be good, or else Santa won't give them what they want. We tell them a lie that will grow into something that resembles the truth. And then, when they're old enough, they will discard the lie and transform what remains into a true understanding of the world. And I can appreciate that there are expressions of Christian faith that rely on that mechanism. That no, of course, the Bible isn't literally true, but we'll use it as a tool to help children grow into healthy, responsible members of society. Then, when they're old enough, they'll take those training wheels off. They'll realize the stories in the Bible are just stories, and they can take those lessons from their childhood and apply them to building a better society. I get that you people are out there, but you weren't my people. You weren't the ones I was growing up around. You weren't the people I went to church with. You weren't the professors that taught me in Bible college. You weren't the counselors or pastors who offered guidance to me. You weren't the people who trained me for the mission field. You weren't the authors I was encouraged to read. You weren't the person I was told to grow into. You were the enemy, the wishy-washy Christian that comes about when you don't take God and His Word seriously. The one who breaks commandments numbers 1, 2, and 3 out of convenience. You are weak and under the influence of this sinful, fallen world and its demonic prince. That's where I was raised. That's what I was taught, and I was taught it by people who sincerely believed that it was true. But the catch is, children aren't nuanced enough to deduce the difference between what an adult believes is true and what an adult can verify to be true. To a kid, it's all the same. And they rely on us. They trust us. They believe us when we tell them stuff. They believe us when we use our fingers to show them that 1 + 2 = 3. They believe us when we use paints to show them that blue + yellow makes green. And they believe us when we sound out letters to show them that C-A-T spelled K-A-T. And they believe us when we use the Bible to tell them that an invisible, silent spirit created everything. They believe us when we tell them that the entire human population sprung about from just 2 people. They believe us when we tell them that God lovingly wiped out 99.9% of the global population because of how wicked we are. They believe us when we tell them that out of the entire expansive universe, that God has a special place in His infinite heart for one minuscule, microscopic tribe of illiterate sheep herders in the Near East, a tribe that He favored above all others, wiped out, slaughtered, murdered civilizations in order just for them to flourish. They believe us when we tell them that circumcision is, in large part, anything less than genital mutilation. They believe us when we tell them that the conception of Jesus was something magical rather than rape. And they believe us when we tell them that a non-believer spending an eternity in hell is perfectly just, perfectly loving, and also of their own free choice. And they believe us when we tell them that an eternity worshiping this narcissistic, immoral thug is paradise and worth sacrificing this life, this world for. And they believe us because they're children. Just stop abusing these children. When you abuse the trust of a child, you abuse the child. We as a society will continue to limp into oblivion so long as we insist on hobbling our most precious resource with homilies on faith, over critical thinking. We are hurting our children and we are destroying our future. Just stop the indoctrination.